sometimes people are just negative people, and we need to scratch them out of our lives.
Hey beautiful people, it's Success Mentor Dante J. Worth, and I'm back with another video right here on Audacious Believer TV! Now, if this is your first time tuning in, I need you to make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure that you like this video. And make sure that you are commenting down below. Me and my team absolutely love to read your comments. Now tonight, we're being joined by the beautiful, the fabulous, the one, the only. Tell them who you are now.
Wow, Jackie Ortiz.
Yes! Hey,
well, isn't this fun?
Yes! I invited Jackie on here tonight to talk about service over self. Now, before we talk about that, we're going to ask her the same question we ask every single guest. What is your story?
Oh boy, what is it? Well, as I will tell you my story as my baby doggy climbs up on us, because part of my story is that I'm a super animal lover. And obviously I bring my baby to work. But just as Dante said, Jackie Ortiz, I grew up here in Rochester, New York. I grew up on the city's northeast side, right on the side. Yes. Went to city schools, graduated from Wilson Magnet High School.
Nice.
Went to Cornell University after that.
Wow.
Lived away just for a short period of time. Okay, she's going to be really interesting right now. And, moved to Wisconsin for a couple of years. That's where I was working as an assistant brand manager for Ziploc.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my background is actually advertising, marketing, and those kinds of things, right? You wouldn't know that prior to insurance and finance. I wanted to be the slogan advertising lady, right? Growing up. Right.
Jackie's there for you.
Right, and I was actually lucky enough to get a job right out of college for what I went to school for.
Wow.
Right? How many people say I actually got a job
it's rare
for
these days.
what I went to school for?
Right.
So lucky enough, did that for a few years, but Rochester's home.
Yeah.
And so I moved back home back in 2003.
Nice.
Worked for Bird's Eye Foods for a little while.
Nice.
But didn't like it so much.
Ooh, child.
Yes. But we'll leave that behind.
Yes,
Right? My mama said, can't say something nice, don't say it at
The
all.
whole part.
Right. But met somebody who worked at State Farm and really changed my life. Right? And so
Like
never
a good
thought.
neighbor, State Farm is there.
And been doing this 13 years now.
No, wow.
Right. And the time has gone by really fast.
And she's not just doing it, she got her name on it. She's a boy.
And then, when you own your own business, you have to be out in the community and meeting folks and just really, again, being out there and providing, and giving back to the folks. And so, in doing that, I ended up meeting individuals who were involved in politics and decided in 2009 that we would take it a step up and that we would run for city council.
A big step up, honey. And how did you win? What happened? Did you win?
So we won now 3 times. Yes.
That's good.
But I would definitely say it has definitely been a journey.
That's awesome.
And it's not something I totally enjoy the work that I do.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, right? There's always so many different things to be worked on, so many different individuals to respond to, and we do the very best that we can. I can't speak for anybody else.
I got you, yeah.
But it's something that I enjoy, because I wouldn't have tried to run 3 times in a row if it wasn't something that I really felt very strongly about. Absolutely. And we're doing the best we can, focusing on a lot of housing issues, focusing in on really a variety of things that people really don't necessarily understand, that are really the financial underpinnings of why decisions end up being the way they are, right? And so when we talk about tax liens, when we talk about zombie houses, when we talk about hopefully getting a housing court, all those things are really kinds of things that I'm working on right now.
All those great causes, all those working for service.
Very hard, and I pride myself on being responsive as I possibly can. So if you send me a message or call, I'll do my very best to make sure that I respond back to you.
How do you stay passionate in the midst of the politics and everything else that's going on? How do you stay passionate?
You gotta stay focused on the issues, right? You stay focused on the issue. You stay focused on the people, because if you let yourself get wrapped up in the nonsense, because that's quite frankly what it is, nonsense, then you'll never get anything done. And so, I have my little board. So I know you can't see it here, but here in my office, right? I have my little board there that reminds me of the things that I have decided to focus on, and making sure that it's front and center every single day. I turn around, I look at it and say, oh wait, what did I do on that today? I have made a commitment to work on these items, and I'm going to stick to it. So I make sure that I stay focused and really make sure that, again, if people are reaching out, I signed up for this, right? People said they want to talk to me, they want to hear from me. I'll meet anyone, anywhere, anytime.
That's good. I know that as a leader and as a boss and as a city councilwoman, and you have a lot of responsibilities, and that's a lot of service. But when you get to take care of yourself?
Whew. So that is very difficult, but you have to make time for yourself. And the first thing is you have to have very accommodating, loving family and friends.
Yes.
And I have a fabulous team here at State Farm. Nice. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be able to do all the community work that we do if it weren't for all the fabulous people that work here in this office.
That's so
shout out to my people here. And obviously very supporting family, life and stuff. So, when we can, I do my very best not to schedule too many things in the evening or too many things on the weekends, right? So I try to my very best, right? Because my son is 4 years old, right? He's a little preschooler. Shout out to number school 15, right? Who right now, wants to see mommy, but knows that mommy works very hard, and so I try to get home before he has to go to sleep. We have to try to read some books. We have to make sure that mommy does the bedtime routine, brushing the teeth, and
you're like our old fiance. You're a boss, and then you go home and get a baby.
So we have that baby, and we have 4 other babies because Jackie has her little doggies at home too, and they need love too. So yes, absolutely.
That's so good.
One of my spoiled babies who you just saw here, who it looks like she decided to exit the room. She's like, this was too much, too bright, I'm out.
So, someone who's out there who aspires to be like you, what advice would you have for them?
Wow. So I would say, have a plan, right? But be flexible enough in your plan that you can change however things might get thrown at you, right? But everyone has to start with a vision for themselves, right? We don't just go in one day and say, okay, this now, right? You have to have a vision, and you have to take the steps, right? You have to actively work that plan, right? To be able to achieve what it is you're looking for. But I will tell you that when I said you have to be flexible, I didn't have the plan of deciding to open up a State Farm, right? That was the furthest thing from my mind that I had never thought about, right? But someone presented to me in such a way where, hey, this is still marketing, hey, it's advertising, you're doing a little different industry, but it's still all those things you like to do. Yeah, so when they was presented to me that way, I said, you know what, you're right. So I'm going to jump in, both feet, and work that new plan and figure it out.
Keep working it, honey.
So I would say have a vision, a plan for yourself, but stay focused enough to be able to change course when necessary, right? And one more thing I will say to that is make sure that I know people say these things all the time, make sure you surround yourself with good people, right?
Yes, like
I have,
me or her.
That's right. Because we need to make sure that positivity rules our world, and anytime, and I feel awful when I see people, they have dreams, they have ideas, but then the first time that they say it out loud to someone, someone has to be negative about whatever it is that they're trying to do, right? I get that sometimes, but sometimes people are just negative people, and we need to scratch them out of our lives. Bye.
Speaking of that, so how do you, as a politician, how has that changed the way you make friends?
Wow. Well, so first of all, I don't know any politician that can't get by making sure they have good relationships, right? So, and when you're owning a business, and even just in general, when you're trying to be just a good person, right? You want to be able to open up and have good relationships with folks. And so I always find, and I tell my fiance this all the time, because, sometimes he is one of those people where, when you meet somebody, they got that smooth face, right? And he, yes. And I always tell him, stop. Don't take it personal, right? Because sometimes people, not everyone always knows how to relate so easily to strangers, right? And so I tell them, stop, say hello, smile, introduce yourself.
Don't have the crazy smile, they're like,
right, they're like, right? Because not everyone knows how to do that. And he tells me every time, he goes, honey, I I did it.
Yeah.
And that person completely then opened up. Sometimes you just have to break the ice with folks and stuff. Not everyone knows how to be that little social butterfly. So we must help folks join the party.
Pull the energy in. Don't let the people put the negative energy on you.
Absolutely. So I would say sometimes you just don't pass judgment. Listen, but invite people in, because sometimes again people are not invited, and so you change someone's world when you do those, and you change your own, right? No negativity here.
Are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
Favorite book?
Ooh, I would say Jeffrey Gitomer's Book of Sales.
Hey, Book of Sales! Favorite 90s song?
Ooh, oh goodness, I have so many. I'm gonna have to, go with my Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. Wow, okay.
I went up on my little Whitney. Okay, what is the hardest lesson you've ever had to learn that took you the longest to learn?
Oh wow, it took me the longest to learn and hardest. I would have to say, that's a tough one. You said rapid fire. I'm not doing too fast right now. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. The hardest lesson to learn. You know what? You would think that I would have this, but I would say be confident in yourself, right? And sometimes I still even doubt myself, and so I think that's still an ongoing. So hardest lesson to learn is truly be confident in your skills, where you put yourself out there. And I'm still learning it, right? Because every day I'm trying to make sure.
Confident and humble yourself daily.
Absolutely. So that would be my hardest lesson, and I'm still learning.
Yes, that's all right, sis. All right. What's the greatest piece of advice you've ever received?
I would have to say that one of the things that I had previously mentioned is, again, really surrounding yourself with folks who are positive, that are on a plan for a path of success to themselves. Absolutely, because one of the things that I've always learned was that we may not always be the most smartest on every single topic and subject, but when you surround yourself around positive people who are trying to do things, I will tell you, just like it can happen in the opposite direction. When you do that, it's inevitable, right?
Really is.
It really is. One of my friends who told me, he said, the inevitability of doing. If you do, you will be.
That's good. That's good. And to be audacious means to be.
Oh, audacious to me to be. I would say to be successful.
Yeah.
Right. Positively.
Yes. So tell people how they can find you online, how they can support this wonderful place that you're in right now.
Okay. Well, so since we have different lives going on all of the time, right, and we definitely want to be out there for every one of them, you can find me at JackieOrtiz.com, right? So there you will find all the information related to the State Farm hat and part of my life.
Yes.
If you are interested in the other part of my life as a city council member, you can find me at thecityofrochester.gov under the City Council tab.
Yes.
And I'm always, again, looking forward to meeting folks, talking to you. So email is definitely the best for me. So Jackie at JackieOrtiz.com. And I'll be there for you.
So until next time, remember that life is meant to be enjoyed and not just endured.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. You're so beautiful.